Welcome to my Backyard Garden and Break the Silent Struggle with Grief podcast. This is episode number 21, season 2, Just Fly. I'm your host, Debra Hester. This episode is a little different. Originally, this was planned as a conversation, a shared reflection, and interview with someone who meant a great deal to me, not just professionally, but personally. But life changed the plan. Before we could record this episode together, he passed away. He transitioned. And yet, he is not forgotten, because the truth is, some people don't leave us. And they definitely don't leave us empty. They leave us equipped. Today, instead of an interview, this episode becomes a memorial, a reflection, a moment of gratitude for a man who mentored me in business consulting, but whose greatest lesson had nothing to do with business. He taught me about what it truly means to just fly. He was a leader, a thinker, a guide. He was someone I shared real moments with in between destinations. Sometimes it was completely unexpected. We found ourselves on the same flight out of BWI, Baltimore, Washington International Airport. But somehow we'd look up and realize we were on the same journey again. And I think now that's part of where this title came from, Just Fly, because we did a lot of it, but not just in the air. We were both navigating life, purpose, responsibility, moving from place to place, season to season. And those shared airplane flights became more than travel. They became moments of connection, of conversation, of quiet understanding. Looking back, I don't think it was a coincidence, because loved ones, I believe there are no chance meetings. I think it was alignment. Two people on similar paths, meeting in between takeoffs and landings. He was someone who moved between the boardroom, the church, and real life with wisdom and grace. But more importantly, he was a husband, a father, and a grandfather. And it was through that role that he shared something I will never forget. He once said, "I thought I was marrying my mate, and God knew I was marrying my match." And when he said that, he wasn't speaking metaphorically. His wife gave him one of her kidneys. Now, for many, that might sound like a moment of love. But what we don't always think about is what that really means. Because receiving a kidney is not simple. It's a journey marked by waiting, uncertainty, and hope. For most people, the wait for a kidney from a deceased donor can take 3 to 5 years, sometimes even longer, up to 10 years, depending on where you are. Years of waiting, years of wondering, years of holding on. But his story was different. He didn't have to wait in that way, because his wife was a willing, living donor. And not only willing, she was a match. So when he said, "I thought I was marrying my mate, and God knew I was marrying my match," he was speaking from a place of lived experience, of sacrifice, of alignment, of a love that didn't just stand beside him, but sustained him. When I think about this episode, Just Fly, I realize now he lived that. Not in the way we often think, not rushing forward, not pretending everything is okay, but in trusting, in receiving, in recognizing that sometimes you don't force flight, you allow it, even in moments of vulnerability, even when life changes unexpectedly, even when someone you were supposed to walk with leaves sooner than you planned. Grief will make you pause. It will ground you. It will question everything you thought you knew about forward movement. But love gives you lift. And sometimes the way we just fly is by carrying the lessons of those who helped shape us, their words, their presence, their impact. Loved ones, this was supposed to be a part of season 1. I didn't get the chance to record this conversation with him, but I did get the gift of knowing him, of learning from him, of hearing words that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And today, I share those words with you because mentorship doesn't end, love doesn't end, impact doesn't end. So today, I invite you to reflect: who has poured into you? What did they leave you with? And how will you carry that forward? Because sometimes just fly doesn't mean taking off alone. It means rising with everything they gave you. Thank you for spending this time with me here in my backyard garden and listening to Break the Silence Struggle with Grief. As you leave this space, I invite you to pause. Who do you carry with you even now? There's no right or wrong answer, only awareness. If you'd like a space to reflect, I've created a backyard garden reflection journal to accompany each episode. You can download it at mothersbackyard.org. This is Debra Hester, and I remain committed to walking together as we break the silent struggle with grief. Move forward with more empathy, less sympathy, allowing space for healing. Don't forget, tend your garden with grace. Peace and blessings.